handle the heat? Hey there, spicy ukers. In this week's tutorial, I'll teach you how to play the hottest Latin groove on the ukulele ever. Cause after learning this, things will get very heated on the dance floor. And the good news is, this lesson is beginners friendly. But I will slowly turn up the heat. We'll start by learning the basic chords. We'll spice it up a little bit by adding the salsa strum. And then we'll add the melody to it. And then we'll spice it up even more by adding the chuck. And the spiciest level, which will definitely bring everyone to the dance floor, will be fingerstyle. And if you're patient enough and watch until the end of the video, there will be a play along where we put all the parts together into a beautiful jam. So make sure to follow through. And just before we begin, if you love Latin music and you can't wait to spice up your skills on the ukulele, join my Patreon community now. That's where I'm doing weekly live stream classes plus replays, teaching fingerstyle strumming in all the genres including Latin, and we have the spiciest and sweetest community of ukulele players from all over the world. So join us now, the link is in the description. And now, let's begin. First, let me teach you the two basic chords, AM and E7. These are the two most common chords which you will need in order to play Latin music on the ukulele. And now let me teach you the basic strumming. For this basic strum, you'll need two movements, down and up. And the pattern goes like this. First of all, let me play the strumming full speed so you guys can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's break it down and let me play it very slowly with the counting so you can follow. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now, before we continue, make sure to practice that multiple times until you get it right. Now, let's spice up this chord progression by adding a melody to it. And it's gonna sound like this. So the right hand strumming is very similar, but there are some extra movements which I'm doing with the left hand. And there are different ways of how we can approach it. So when we're strumming the AM chord, at a certain point, it turns into an F chord. So you add the index finger to the first fret on the second string. But I wouldn't like calling it an F chord because it's just a melodic movement within the chord. So before we actually strum it, try to work on the movement of releasing and pressing with your index finger while you're holding the AM chord. Something like this. AM, F, AM, F. And there is another melodic movement which happens on the E7 chord. And it goes like this. Here is your E7. With the pinky, I'm reaching to the third fret on the first string, pressing it and releasing it. So here is something you can practice. E7, adding the pinky on the third fret first string and releasing. And by the way, if you really want to see this shape as a chord, you can call it E7 flat 13, which is quite spicy. Now let's try to play this strumming together. I'll count it very slowly so you can follow too. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4. And so this is quite an intermediate level strum. So make sure to practice it very slowly and mindfully until you get it right. And now let's try to speed it up a little bit. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and later on, when you start feeling even more comfortable with this strum, you can speed it up even more for extra spice. And it's gonna sound like this. now it's time to bring up the flames by adding a percussive chuck into the rhythm. And it's gonna sound like this. 3, 4. What a difference, right? Now, if you are new to chucking or you simply want to improve this technique, I welcome you to check my tutorial on how to chuck from A to Z. I'm sure that by watching this tutorial, your chucking will improve enormously. Now, let's break down this strum and play it very slowly. Basically, my right hand strum was very similar to what I was doing before, plus a chuck. And the chuck is notated with a cross. On beat 2 and 4. Mind that there is no chuck on the 4th count on the E7 chord. And now let's try to play this pattern very slowly together. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and... Now, this is a hard one, so make sure to take your time and practice it slowly. And now, let's speed it up a little bit and hear it in full speed. 3, 4. And now let's move on to the spiciest level of them all. Let's play it in fingerstyle. Let's listen to it first. So just like before, we're still working with two chords, the AM chord and the E7. But what makes it so special is the fingerstyle technique and the movement, the melodies between those chords. So let's break down all the parts. Now for this pattern, we'll be using 4 fingers in the right hand: thumb, index, middle, and ring. Each finger will be responsible for its own string, so pretty much assigned to a string, where the thumb is assigned to the 4th string, index to the 3rd, middle to the 2nd, and ring to the 1st. And you never change fingers. And the first pattern, which I'm playing over the AM chord, goes like this. So you pretty much finish the pattern on the F shape. Straight after that, we go to the E7 shape and we play the following finger picking pattern. And the final part is a melody which connects the E7 chord back to the AM. And it goes like this. 0, 2, 4 on the 2nd string. And now let me count it very slowly and let's try to play this one together. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and 1. What distinguishes Latin music for any other genre is that there are a lot of notes which fall on the upbeats, just like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... And now let's try to play this one a little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Well done, everyone. You've reached the spiciest level of playing salsa on the ukulele. And now, before we start jamming, make sure to click on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. This way you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want to spice up your Latin skills on the ukulele from this to this in no time, join my Patreon community now. The link is in the description. And now it's time to have fun. So for this jam, you can choose any pattern you like, something which you feel comfortable with. So don't challenge yourself too much, because the most important thing here is to play together. As in, for my part, I prepared a play along with two of the patterns we just learned. First, I'll start with a fingerstyle intro, and later on, I'll add the strumming to it. So jam along. Are you ready? Start your engines. Let's do it. And it's a wrap. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Cheers!